History books tell us about great leaders, visionaries, and revolutionaries. But what if we told you that behind the glory, there were dark secrets lurking in their past? From secret crimes to hidden agendas, these famous historical figures had skeletons in their closets that few dare to talk about. Stay till the end, because number 1 will completely change how you see one of the most celebrated icons in history. We often idolize historical figures, seeing them as heroes or pioneers. But the truth is, many of them had shocking secrets, brutal tendencies, or even disturbing personal lives that history conveniently forgets. Here are 10 famous historical figures with dark and disturbing truths that might change how you see them forever. Number 10. Thomas Edison, the ruthless businessman. We know Thomas Edison as the brilliant inventor behind the light bulb, but did you know he was also known for stealing ideas and sabotaging rivals? Edison's rivalry with Nikola Tesla is legendary. He publicly electrocuted animals to discredit Tesla's alternating current, AC. He also took credit for inventions that were primarily developed by his employees. Edison was a businessman first, an inventor second, and many of his so-called inventions were improvements on existing ideas that he aggressively patented. The light bulb itself, he didn't invent it. He just improved a design that was already being worked on by others. His genius is undeniable, but his methods were far from ethical. Number 9. Winston Churchill, the colonial enforcer. Winston Churchill is hailed as a war hero and an inspiring leader, but his colonial policies led to immense suffering. During the Bengal famine of 1943, millions of Indians starved to death under British rule. Churchill refused to send aid, blaming the Indians for breeding like rabbits. He was also a strong supporter of using chemical weapons against Middle Eastern and Indian rebels, dismissing their lives as less valuable than those of Europeans. While he played a crucial role in defeating Nazi Germany, his legacy is tainted by racial views and brutal policies that caused immense suffering. Number 8. Albert Einstein, the controversial personal life. Albert Einstein is regarded as a genius, but his personal life was far from noble. He had multiple affairs, some with women much younger than him, and his first wife, Mileva Merrick, was treated cruelly. Einstein once gave her a list of strict rules, including that she had to expect no intimacy and obey him completely. He even abandoned his second son, Edward, who suffered from schizophrenia, leaving him in a mental institution while Einstein focused on his career. While his contributions to science were revolutionary, his treatment of his family was cold and unfeeling. Number 7. Henry Ford, the anti-Semitic industrialist. Henry Ford is celebrated for revolutionizing the automobile industry with the assembly line, making cars affordable for the masses. However, his personal beliefs were deeply troubling. Ford was an outspoken anti-Semite who used his newspaper, the Dearborn Independent, to publish anti-Jewish conspiracy theories, blaming Jews for societal problems. His writings were so influential that Adolf Hitler praised him in Mein Kampf and even kept a portrait of Ford in his office. Ford's newspaper spread hateful propaganda, inspiring dangerous ideologies that fueled global anti-Semitism. While his impact on industry and transportation is undeniable, his role in spreading hatred and conspiracy theories casts a dark shadow over his legacy, proving that even great innovators can have deeply flawed beliefs. Number 6. Mother Teresa, the controversial saint. Mother Teresa is revered as a saint and humanitarian, but her work has faced serious ethical criticism. Despite receiving millions in donations, her clinics for the poor often lacked basic medical care, proper sanitation, and pain relief. She believed suffering was a gift from God and reportedly denied dying patients pain medication, even when it was available. Many former volunteers and critics claimed she was more focused on converting people to Christianity than on genuinely improving their living conditions. Additionally, reports suggest that funds meant for healthcare were mismanaged or left unaccounted for. While her devotion to the poor was undeniable, her controversial methods and rigid beliefs raise questions about whether she truly alleviated suffering or merely prolonged it. Number 5. John F. Kennedy, the womanizer with ties to the mob. John F. Kennedy is often remembered as a charismatic leader and a symbol of American optimism, but his personal life was far more scandalous than many realize. He allegedly had numerous affairs, including one with Marilyn Monroe, and engaged in reckless relationships with several women, some of whom had ties to foreign intelligence. His connections to organized crime were even more concerning. He was linked to mob boss Sam Giancana, and some historians believe the mafia helped him secure the presidency by influencing key votes. Ironically, some speculate that these very ties played a role in his assassination. While JFK's leadership and vision were inspiring, his personal recklessness and secret dealings cast a much darker shadow over his legacy. Number 4. Christopher Columbus, the brutal conqueror. Christopher Columbus is often glorified as the brave explorer who discovered America, but the reality of his actions is far more disturbing. Upon arriving in the New World, he enslaved native populations, forcing them to mine gold under brutal conditions. Those who failed to meet quotas often faced amputation, torture, or execution. Some were even burned alive or fed to dogs as punishment or entertainment for his men. Columbus's expeditions also introduced deadly diseases that wiped out entire indigenous communities. His governance was so cruel that even Spanish authorities arrested and removed him from power. Rather than a heroic figure, Columbus was a ruthless conqueror whose actions led to genocide and suffering, making his legacy one of brutality rather than discovery. Number 3. Nikola Tesla, the obsession with death rays. Nikola Tesla is often portrayed as a misunderstood genius who revolutionized electricity, but his life was filled with bizarre and unsettling aspects. One of his most controversial projects was a death ray, which he claimed could annihilate entire armies with a concentrated energy beam. Though he never completed it, some believe the US government seized his research after his death, fearing its potential power. Tesla also had an unusual obsession with pigeons, caring for them obsessively, and even claiming he had fallen in love with one particular white pigeon, saying it meant as much to him as a woman. His brilliance was undeniable, but his eccentric behavior and fixation on strange ideas add a darker, more mysterious layer to his legacy. Number 2. Mahatma Gandhi, the disturbing personal habits. Mahatma Gandhi is revered worldwide for his philosophy of nonviolence and his role in India's independence, but his personal life contained disturbing contradictions. One of the most controversial aspects of his life was his celibacy experiments, where he slept naked with young girls, including his own grandnieces, to test his self-control. Many found this practice deeply unethical, raising serious concerns about his treatment of women. Additionally, in his early years in South Africa, Gandhi displayed racist views, referring to black Africans as uncivilized and advocating for their segregation from Indians. While he later fought for equality and justice, these aspects of his past cast a shadow over his legacy. His contributions to India's freedom remain undeniable, but his personal beliefs and actions are far more complex than his saintly image suggests. Number 1. Abraham Lincoln, the complex views on slavery. Abraham Lincoln is often celebrated as the great emancipator, but his stance on slavery and race was more complex than commonly believed. While he ultimately signed the Emancipation Proclamation, it only applied to Confederate states in rebellion, leaving slavery intact in border states loyal to the Union. Lincoln's primary goal was preserving the Union, and he even stated that if he could do so without freeing any slaves, he would. Additionally, he advocated for colonization, proposing that freed African Americans be resettled in Central America or Africa, believing racial integration was unfeasible. Though he played a crucial role in ending slavery, his views on race were not as progressive as modern narratives suggest, making his legacy more nuanced than widely taught. History is full of heroes with dark pasts. These stories remind us that even the most celebrated figures were flawed. Which of these facts surprised you the most? Let us know in the comments, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and watch our next video on shocking historical secrets.